Rolling non-stop, why don't you stop? It's the flow that got the block hot.
What's up? See my little girls Tegan and London over here with my wife Shannon? Hey. I got to impress them today. They're not here all the time with me as I travel the world and speak on stages and teach and train all of you and your teams. But I'm excited to be here today to speak into your lives. I'm excited to give you a training that you can actually take with you today and go home and apply into your business so you can come back next year at Expo and walk across this stage in front of your team, in front of your upline, in front of your family. I want to first, before I start, just take this time to congratulate Katie Holt Larson on becoming the new President of North America. My family and I love Katie, and I'm sure you guys do as well. I'm very confident in where she will take our market. And when she was sharing her story about her family, when she was sharing how active they are, that is no joke. They are a very overactive family. I remember I spent a weekend in Utah, and Derek invited me to go rock climbing with him indoor. And I'd never done it before. But I work out as hard as I can in the gym. I work out at the CrossFit in Corona, where I live in Southern California, and I thought, oh, I could take this. This is nothing, rock climbing. Do these guys even really work out? Is that a sport? And I went to the indoor rock climbing gym with him. He got me my shoes. I chalked up my hands, and I went on my way. You know, he said, first start over here, and these little ones, and their little kids running around. I was like, I don't even need that, Derek. Come on, man, it's rock climbing. I'd never done it before in my life. And I remember climbing up the wall on my own. I'm a little scared of heights, and I didn't know it until I was halfway up that wall. And I look around, and there's no Derek. I'm like, where's this old man at? Nowhere. My arms are burning at this point. I feel like I want to fall, but I don't want people to start making fun of me. So when I don't see him, I'm like, hey, he's not here anymore. I'm just going to drop. So I fell and just hung there, looked around for him. He didn't see that happen. I was just going to tell him that I made it to the top and I'm already down, Derek. And then I looked straight up into the air, and there's Derek climbing upside down on the ceiling on those rocks, looking at me. And I'm like, man, this guy is the man. I have a huge respect for rock climbers now. CrossFit doesn't do it justice. Working out as hard as I can doesn't do it justice. Rock climbers, man, that is an incredible sport. So congrats to anybody who does that. It's one of the toughest things I ever did. So I have a huge respect. From that day on, I couldn't even look Derek in the eyes anymore. I have to look down when I go up to him now. But man, to see Katie doing it, their son is incredible too. And their daughter, my wife and I, our kids absolutely love. We spent a few years with them in Hawaii, which was fun, but just congratulations to that family, and I'm excited for North America for you guys. Right? So now, back to network marketing now and teaching you guys a skill, which is a skill of inviting. But before I start that, I want to talk to you guys about the three types of networkers. The three types of networkers are the poser, the amateur, and the professional. And I can admit I've been all three of those over the last 12 years of my network marketing career. The poser, you know, that's the person that treats this business like a lottery ticket. Right? They get involved, and they think of the three most successful people they know, and they think they're just going to go talk to them tomorrow, and they're going to be one of those diamonds sitting in the front. And usually within 90 days, they're gone, unless they have an incredible mentor or someone in their upline that teaches them the real way to build. The second type of person is the amateur. That's the person that relies on a few different things. One is luck. Two is timing. Right? When I say luck, I mean they're looking for that monster they want to bring in the business, and they think that one person is going to do everything for them. Then they have the timing. They always want to be at the very beginning of something. Or you have the type of amateur that is all about positioning. They want to enroll with the top guy in the company and get the best position possible because they think that's going to help them get to the top. And then you have the person who just wants to be part of anything that's new. That's the amateur, and they're jumping from company to company to company. Then you have the professional, and I learned a lot about a professional, not in this book, GoPro, that I love to refer to all the time, but I learned about it in Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers. And in there he talks about the professional, the person that puts in 10,000 hours into their craft, into what it is they're passionate about. And for network marketing, when we think of people who work full-time, it's not 8 hours a day. Did you win the Rolex today, or? Wow. Congrats to you. Man. Right? But in Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers, he talks about the guys that put in 10,000 hours, the girls that put 10,000 hours. And in network marketing, there's no way possible, I would say, that you can work this business full-time, like in the real world, 8 hours, 10 hours a day for the most part. If you tried as hard as you could, I would say maybe 4 hours a day. You're waiting for people to get off work. You're setting up appointments in the evening or maybe at lunchtime. And if you did this business 4 hours a day, it would take you 7 years to get your 10,000 hours in, and you can consider yourself a professional. That time flies like that, you guys. 7 years. You don't give it 90 days or 7 months. You got to put your time in. And you got to keep track of what you're doing. There's so many people who have been in the business for 3-4 years as a network marketer, but if you add up all their time, they haven't worked this business a full month. So you have to be realistic with who you are as a network marketer and decide to be a professional when you leave here this weekend. Okay? So, being the inviter. And the invitation is actually the gateway skill in this business. It's step number 2 in the book GoPro by Eric Worre. And the invitation, okay, being the inviter. And if you don't know how to properly invite, then you could probably guess what your business will look like 3 months from now, 3 years from now, or even 7 years from now. The invitation is that gateway skill. That's what gets people to look at your business, to look at your opportunity, to even try your products. And most people who go out there into this world of network marketing, they usually become one of 2 types of people, the hunter or the farmer. The hunter is the guy or the girl that goes out there with their gun fully loaded, shooting at anything that moves. Trying to get everybody to join their opportunity with the mentality of some will, some won't, who cares next. That mentality I've had before. But that's really the wrong mentality, because those people usually let themselves down. Their team starts to duplicate that mentality as well, and they find themselves failing and quitting, and then they wonder what's going on. What I've learned works best is the farmer mentality. The people that go out there not with the expectations of just signing up a new customer and signing up a new distributor today, but with the expectation of putting time into people, building trust with people, building relationships, making new friends, and leaving them with an education and understanding of what it is we do so they can build their curiosity to want to ask for the next step. How can I get involved? Would I be able to try your products? Okay, tell me more. And it's that farmer mentality of just planting the seeds everywhere you go and continuing to water the soil and till the soil over time until eventually your pipeline is just filling up with prospects. You want to have that farmer mentality. Now, if you can go back one, sorry. Got it. Okay. So there are 8, actually, got this. I'm trying to figure out these right here. Okay, so basically there are 4 emotions of inviting, okay? And you have to understand these emotions before you go out and share your business or your product with anybody, or even before you go out there and start to make that first step into the invitation, which I'm going to teach you on the next slide. But the 4 emotions of inviting are this. 1, you must emotionally detach yourself from the outcome. Like I said on the last slide, you shouldn't go out there prospecting new people with the idea of enrolling them today, getting them as your distributors today, getting them as your new customers today. You should just go out there with the idea of just educating them, planting the seeds, tilling the soil, giving them new information, okay? Because if you are emotionally attached to whether they say yes or no, you're going to find yourself getting very discouraged very quickly in this business. But if you go out there with just the expectations of leaving this person with information, leaving this person better than when you first found them, then the business becomes fun for you, and then you become passionate about it, and then you're talking to people everywhere, and you feel like you're having these small successes every single day. The second one would be yourself, okay? Don't be the doctor. Don't be the scientist. I know we have some amazing products, but let the events do the talking for the products. You don't have to be that person, okay? You're just the messenger. You're not the message. Be your best self out there. Don't go to your friends and don't go to people who already know you and think you're trying to be someone you aren't. Just be yourself and just be excited. Bring some passion. Enthusiasm is contagious. When you're excited about something, the people get excited about it. And then you build curiosity. Instead of pushing them away, you're pulling them in now. You're begging the question. Your enthusiasm is on fire and people want to know more. And then the fourth emotion would be to have strong posture. And this is very important for me and what I had to learn after my first year of network marketing. Instead of wondering what people would say or how they would respond or how they would react, I would just go out there with conviction and confidence and belief with whatever I was sharing with people, whether it was the products or the company, and people picked up on that really quickly. And they treated me like a professional. They respected my time. They were sitting there with their arms, with their body posture forward, listening to everything I said. So just be convictive, be confident when you go out there. Now, there are 8 key steps to a professional invitation. Okay, and this invitation should be done very quickly. And what I'm going to do over the course of the next few minutes is I'm going to give you a few scripts that you can write down, or most of you guys are filming it anyways, that you can go home and practice. And the scripts aren't what you need to say exactly, but you can formulate it your own way, and you can get the idea from what I'm sharing with you guys. But there are 8 steps, okay? And even though these might at first look difficult to you, with practice, you can master these steps, and it just becomes natural for you when you're going out there and you're talking to people. The first one is just to be in a hurry, okay? People are attracted to people that have things going on. People are attracted to people that are moving quickly, that are moving and shaking. It builds this sense of curiosity with the people you're talking to. I don't have enough time right now, right? And people are wondering, okay, what does he have to share with me? Okay? The second thing would, and if you guys could put my notes up, please, with my scripts, because that's important. The second part would be to compliment the lead, okay? To compliment the lead, that just opens the door to conversation now. If you give them a good compliment, right, it opens the door to conversation, and now they're willing to listen to you. And the third one would be, if I would you. Can you guys please put my scripts up, please? It's always technology that gets in the way, right? Okay. So, be in a hurry. I don't have a lot of time to talk, but it was really important that I reach you. Okay? Or you say, I have a ton of stuff going on, but I'm glad I caught you. Or maybe if it's a cold prospect, you could say, now isn't the time to get into this, but. And you move on to the next step, which is complimenting the person or the prospect. If it were a friend that I know, I could say, you've been very successful, and I've always respected the way you've done business. I remember when I started network marketing, my neighbor, he didn't know who I was, but he knew what I did, and he knew how successful I was. And when he met me for the first time, before he shared with me this business, he complimented me on what I'd done in the past and what he thought about me and what the neighbors thought about me and how successful I was. And it opened me up to him and listening to what he had to say. I appreciated the compliment. People appreciate compliments because they don't get them often, okay? So be in a hurry. Compliment the prospect. And then make the invitation, right? Make the invitation. Very, very simple. There are 3 types of invitations that you have to understand. There's the direct approach, there's the indirect approach, and then there's the super indirect approach. Let me talk about those real quick. The direct approach, okay? This is used when you are inviting people to learn more about an opportunity for them. And this is the approach that most people use because they don't understand all the 3 different types of approaches, so they always try to use this one on everybody. And most oftentimes, obviously, it doesn't always work. When you told me you hate your job, you needed a new house, you needed to make more money, were you serious? Okay. I think I found a way for us to boost our cash flow. When I thought of people who could really have huge success with a business, I thought of you. Let me ask you a question off the record. If there was a business you could start working part-time from your home that could replace your full-time income, would that interest you? Okay? Maybe you meet someone in the cold market, maybe someone at a restaurant or someone through a friend or just someone as you're living your life. Have you ever thought of diversifying your income? Do you keep your career options open? Do you plan on doing what you do now for the rest of your life? These are simple questions that when you ask them, it makes people think. Okay? They're already open to listening, and now you're making them think. And then you have the super indirect approach. This is about asking the lead or the prospect for help, input, or guidance. This is when you kind of play yourself down. Okay? I've just started a new business and I'm really nervous. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you? You can use this on a friend, a family member. Can you go back one, please? Okay. I found a business I'm really excited about, but what do I know? You have so much experience. Would you look at it for me if I made it easy on you? And let me know if you think I'm making the right move. All you're doing is you're asking people to take a look at your business. Okay, the indirect approach. A friend told me the best thing I can do when starting a business is have people I respect take a look at it and give me some guidance. Would you be willing to do that if I made it very simple for you? I've started a business with a product I think makes a lot of sense, but I'd like to get your input. Would you be willing to check it out and give me your opinion? Again, just an indirect approach. You're indirectly getting them to look at your business. And the third type of approach is the super indirect approach. This is used for highly successful people that you wouldn't otherwise approach until maybe you think, until I'm making enough money to talk to someone like that. You never have to think like that. Just think of the approach, think of who the lead or the prospect is, and pick one of these to go share your business and make the invitation with, okay? This approach, you tell the prospect or the lead, they aren't a prospect or lead, and you're interested in finding out if they know someone else who might benefit from your business. So you're removing this prospect from the equation because you might say, you're too busy, you have a lot of stuff going on, you're already successful, but who do you know? Okay, and that's what you're doing. So, for example, the business I'm in clearly isn't for you, but I wanted to ask, who do you know that's ambitious, money motivated, would be excited about the idea of adding more cash flow to their lives? You know what's happening, right? When you're talking to this person, they're thinking, well, that's me, duh. Okay, and you know that's going to happen, but they also might give you some referrals as well. Or who do you know that might be looking for a strong business they can run from their home? Okay, when they want more information, because you're giving them a super indirect approach, then you could say, hey, that makes sense. I would understand you want more information. I know you'll want to know more about it before you ever refer someone. And then you move on to the next step, okay? And the next step is simply, if I would you. And this next step, go here. If I would you, looks like corporate mixed these around, but if I would you, okay, this is a powerful statement. This is probably my secret weapon in network marketing. When people approach me about my business and they want to learn more, I say, you know, if I sent you a quick link to a video, would you be willing to watch it before we talk? Right? I'm giving them a reciprocal question where I would give you something of value if you give me something back, okay? And it's if I would you. So if I sent you a link to a video, would you watch it? If I gave you a magazine, would you read it or would you look at it? If I sent you a link to a presentation, would you watch it? If I sent you the link to my website, would you check it out? If I invited you to a special invitation-only webinar, would you attend? If I invited you to a special invitation-only conference call, would you listen in? Okay? What this statement does, if I would you, is it puts you in the position of power. It gives you value, and people give you more respect because you have something of value you're willing to give to them if they're willing to reciprocate something back. If I would you. Okay, these steps, and it happens very, very quickly. Now, once they make the commitment, that is their first yes to you. That's the first yes in the invitation that they're giving you. Sure, I will. Okay? And then what you're going to do is get the first time commitment, the first confirmation. You're going to get a time commitment, okay? And you're going to say, let me go to it. When do you think you could watch it? When do you think you can look at it? When do you think you can get on the call? When can you jump on the webinar? That's all you're doing. You're getting that first time, and they're going to give you an answer. Well, I can look at it I'll watch it on Tuesday, or today when I get off of work, or tomorrow I don't have anything going on, so I'll check it out. Okay, so you don't give them the time to look at it, or to watch it, or to check it out. Wait and let them commit to you first, because they have to think about what they have going on, and now they're really making a commitment to you instead of you saying, hey, watch it tonight, I'll call you tomorrow. They've never set that up. Let them set it up, because they're committing to you. They're saying yes now the second time. Okay? And then what you do is you get the confirmation of the time commitment. So if I called you Wednesday morning, you'll have seen it for sure, right? So if I called you sometime later in the day on Tuesday, you'll have watched it for sure, right? So if I call you on July 2nd, because maybe they're on vacation or something. So if I called you on July 2nd, you'll have watched it for sure, right? And now they're confirming again. Okay, you're reconfirming that with them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to schedule that next call, and you're going to say, what's the best number and time for me to call you at? Okay, it's that final commitment. It's the fourth yes. And what you just did, when they give you the number and that best time, what happens is now they have committed to you over the course of a maybe 1 minute invitation, 1 minute short conversation, because you're in a hurry, remember? They've committed to you now 4 times, and what happens is now is the invitation success rate of them checking out what you have to show them goes from 5% to 80%. Those are the numbers, okay? That's how important the commitment part of this invitation is. I know it sounds redundant, and it's like, why do I have to do that? They already said they'll check it out Tuesday. I could have just said, I'll call you then. No, you let them pick out the time. You said, okay, if I called you then, what's the best number to reach you at? They committed 3 times. They said that if I would you, they said yes. That's the 4th time. Now your percentage goes up to 80%, okay? That's the invitation. That's how quick it is. In that book, Go Pro by Eric Worre, in there, step number 2, making the invitation, in there it talks about the 3 approaches. It talks about those 8 steps. If you want to learn more about it, it even has the scripts on there. He even has a website that has a whole script page for prospects, example scripts of talking to people. It's helped me a lot in my business, and it's also helped my team. Okay? At the end of the day, you don't want to sound scripted. At the beginning, you sound like a robot. But it doesn't matter. All you're trying to do is master the 8 skills. With practice, it makes perfect. Put in the time. Put in your 10,000 hours so people treat you as a professional and you start getting professional results. You're inviting them to watch the plan. And all you're going to do when they make those commitments is you're going to be showing the plan, sharing the product, sharing the videos, inviting them to a webinar call or a one-on-one. You're moving them from exposure to exposure to exposure, and all you're doing is following up, moving them to the next step until you finally get them as a new customer or a new distributor. I want to close with this by the great Babe Ruth. Any Babe Ruth fans out there? Baseball fans. You just can't beat the person who never gives up. Never give up, guys. Love you guys. Good luck. God bless. Mwah.